Mark Goldbridge, that's football. It's Real Madrid versus Manchester City. It's the main course. We had Chelsea versus Bayern last night, but this game, I think we would all agree, is absolutely very, very interesting. Absolutely very interesting. The way with words is astounding, but it is very interesting. Real Madrid versus Manchester City. I'm going to say it from the off here that I think that Manchester City are going to win this game. I do. I think that they are. I really do. I really, really, really do. I think they're going to win, and that's just the way it is. But I think that they will. I mean, Real Madrid this season, I think they lost at the weekend, didn't they? They are in a title race, but they've had no Eden Hazard. I still feel that Real Madrid have never really replaced Cristiano Ronaldo. But we'll go through the two teams. Real Madrid with Courtois, Carvajal, Varane, Ramos, Mendy, Valverde, Casemiro, Modric, Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Isco starting. So Gareth Bale's on the bench. I thought he might start actually. Militao's on the bench, Kroos on the bench, Marcelo on the bench, Vasquez and Jovic on the bench. But Manchester City starting with Ederson, Walker, Otamendi, Laporte, their own Mendy, De Bruyne, Rodri, Gundogan, Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus and Bernardo Silva. So no starting place for Aguero or Raheem Sterling, which is quite interesting from Pep there. But he's gone with Mahrez and he's gone with Jesus over Aguero and Sterling. Fernandinho on the bench as well, which that does surprise me. I think Fernandinho is a starter every game, Aguero's a starter every game, and Sterling's a starter every game really, but he's decided to put them on the bench and go with Rodri and Gundogan in the midfield with De Bruyne ahead of them, and obviously Otamendi is back, Laporte is back now as well. So Man City looking as strong as they have done for quite a while, with Laporte coming back in, but no place for Fernandinho, Aguero or Sterling. And I'm going to go Manchester City to win this. I must admit, I'm not as confident as I was. I thought that with Aguero and Sterling, I think they're a little bit stronger. But yeah, I mean, look, let's see what it's all about. Real Madrid are the big unknown, really. At least the Man City players are coming out. They're not coming out in all denim, which is probably quite assuring. If anybody saw their pictures flying out to Madrid yesterday in all denim there. But you're very welcome. Thanks everyone for joining in. Looking forward to this game. My score prediction, Tombo fan. Well, you can get your score predictions in the live comments. My score prediction tonight, I'm going to go with a Man City 2-1 win. But I think there might be a few goals in it. But then again, you just never know. It might be a 0-0. But yeah, linesman looked like he was absolutely crapping himself there, didn't he? He took a right deep breath. Maybe he's just proud to be doing this game. But yeah, I think City will come out over the two legs on top, to be honest. We will see. Real Madrid, a bit of an ageing team there. You can see Benzema, Casemiro, Modric still all there. Varane, obviously. Not that he's old, but Ramos. It's going to be an interesting game. I haven't really seen a lot of Real Madrid recently, and I think one of the themes I did want to talk about tonight as well. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get up to 125,000 tonight. But one of the things I did want to address tonight was the Premier League drop off. Last season, we spoke about it last night. We had the Europa League finalists, Chelsea and Arsenal. We had the Champions League finalists, Liverpool and Spurs. But a lot of people feel that the Premier League this season, for some reason, has dropped off. And I think that's been evidenced, quite frankly, by Napoli beating Liverpool twice in the group stage. Atletico Madrid beating them last week. Chelsea being absolutely destroyed by Bayern Munich. We've had Spurs get done by Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig. So where does the Premier League rank now? Where does it rank? Last season, we were clearly the best. Why has there been a drop-off? Has there been a drop-off? Is it short-lived? I don't know. We were in a very big position of strength and I didn't expect it to drop off so quickly. But Zidane and Pep having a little hug there. Both bold, aren't they? You know, bound to like each other. Come on, Madrid, says Kieran McCrory. Yeah, who are we going for? I suppose it's... I don't know. It's a difficult one for me because I think that Liverpool... I think Man City can beat Liverpool more than I think Real Madrid can beat Liverpool. But then again, I haven't really seen a lot of Real Madrid. So I just want somebody to stop Liverpool winning the Champions League. Because, to be honest with you, if Liverpool start to take the FA Cup seriously, they've already got the league in the bag. They get the FA Cup, they get the Champions League, they've done the treble. So, yeah. Ross Gawley said they didn't beat us twice. Said, I thought Napoli did beat you twice in the group stage. Maybe they didn't. But, alright, they beat you once. Back off. You still got beat by them, which no other Premier League club has managed to do this season. So that's my point, is why is the Premier League so bad this season apart from Liverpool? Ben Riley, if you say they beat Liverpool once again, I'm going to block you. You don't need to say it a million times. He's done it again, right? I'm not going to block you. I'm going to time you out. It's just petulant to spam and be that much of an obsessive about Liverpool losing a game to Napoli. Right, game's about to kick off, so let's get the timer right. I think Man City will win it 2-1, and Bale will score a banger, says Carl Watkins. He's not starting, he's on the bench, Gareth Bale. I've had a relapse with my cold, you know. I was feeling rough last week, and it's sort of, I thought I was over it, and then it's sort of, I think what's happened is it's probably infected or something, I don't know. Let's not talk about stuff like that. And we're off. Who would I rather win, says Funny Clips AK. I would rather... I don't know. I think I'm just going to let this one run. And I hope we just get a good game. I think that I normally would want Real Madrid to win, but I'm just a little bit concerned about who's going to beat Liverpool in the Champions League. But then again, I haven't seen enough teams yet. I mean, Bayern Munich on their form last night, they could beat Liverpool, couldn't they? Man City are on the attack here. But I still think, in relation to the Premier League, all right, Chelsea, Spurs, United, Arsenal, not that good this year. But I still think Man City and Liverpool could fly the English flag quite well and be the best two teams in the Champions League. So that wouldn't surprise me. Did Rangers beat Braga? Well done to Rangers. That's a very, very, very good performance. I didn't realise, because it's Europa League, I was like, oh, that'll be tomorrow. But they've obviously done it today. 1-0 win for Rangers. That's a very good result. I mean, look, that's a really good tick in the box for the Premier League, Scottish Premier League, to go and beat a Portuguese side. Braga. I mean, I don't know where Braga are in the Portuguese league at the moment, but the Portuguese league's normally quite good. So for a Scottish side to go and win over 2 legs as well, but to go and win in Portugal, that's really good from Rangers. Keeps them in the tournament. Means that if United get through and Arsenal get through and Wolves get through, that I think Celtic are looking strong as well. There's some potential for some really big, massive British games in the next round. Remember, we saw Liverpool United a couple of years ago in the Europa League. We might see something like that, which I'm all for, to be honest. Robbie Stone says the Real Madrid attack isn't that great. Real normally have 3 world-class stars across the front 3. I think you're right there, Robbie. I mean, Benzema's been there so long, hasn't he? He's been there for years now. Isco was always a sort of backup player, although he's very good. And Vinicius Jr. Is a good player, but has he really fulfilled his talent yet? Obviously, Hazard's been injured. Bale's always a bit of an enigma there. So, yeah, Braga a third, says Campbell T. So they're no mugs. Really good result for Rangers, that is. Got to say, really good result. Please do share the video if you're tuning in. We're live for the duration of this game, and hopefully we'll get a good game. Man City starting on the front foot. That's just the way they play, though. Can Real Madrid deal with the press of Manchester City? We will see. Pedro says Real Madrid win because they're the home team. And Dazis Gaming says Juventus are going to wipe the floor with Lille. Be interesting to see how good Juventus are. I think Bayern Munich have given themselves, have woken up a lot of people to say they could win it. And I think, Lewandowski's injured now. Apparently he's out for a month. So that would be a big blow if it was anything longer than that. He should be back for the quarterfinals. 4 weeks time I think he'll be back. But this is the problem, isn't it? You pick up injuries at this time of the season, you put yourself out of the Euros, but you also put yourself out of a key point of the season. But interesting how Pep's lined up today. No Aguero, he's gone with Jesus. No Sterling, he's gone with Mahrez and Bernardo Silva. And no Fernandinho, he's gone with Rodri and Gundogan. So he hasn't gone as strong as I thought he would. Arnold says it's hard, but I've got to go with a Real Madrid win. I haven't watched a lot of Real Madrid this season. It's interesting because I was thinking about doing a El Clasico watch-along on Sunday night, but I've got to say I'm a little bit more intrigued to do Inter versus Juventus because of Ronaldo, Eriksen, Lukaku, Ashley Young. I just think it'll be a better game, but who would have ever thought that you'd turn down doing an El Clasico? But I don't think it is the the classic game anymore. But maybe Real Madrid can prove me wrong and show that the quality is still there with someone like Real Madrid. And let's not forget, Zidane won the Champions League 3 years in a row. This is his first year back since he did that. So Elman says, do you rate Benjamin Mendy? I thought he would have done better than he has. I mean, he's been very injury prone at Manchester City. It's very hard to establish what he's like, really. He's not really settled yet, but there is he's a good player. I'm not going to say he's not a good player. Tabish says Real Madrid are going to school Man City in every way because City aren't used to winning tough European ties. Well, there is that feeling that because Manchester City may be facing a Champions League ban, that maybe they'll up their game a little bit and be, sort of siege mentality. I don't know about that. What I do know is Manchester City are a very good team when they turn up. Another interesting topic I wanted to talk about as well. This is something that I've become aware of because my daughter plays football, and basically a lot of things have been going out from the FA this week that training of heading is banned. Basically, you can't do it anymore. I think it's basically you can head the ball in a match. I don't think they can stop them from doing that, but with youngsters, I think it's up until 16, you cannot train them to head a ball anymore, and many people believe that this will be the beginning of the end with heading in football, which, as we're watching a game now, could you imagine a game of football with no heading in it? Well, I suppose it's only the same as you can't handle it. It's only because we're used to handball and we're used to being able to head the ball that we're like, oh, that'd be stupid. But what would be stupid is there's certain players that would be redundant in the modern game if you didn't have heading. I mean, he's just headed it to keep the ball in there. Harry Maguire's a player that's good in the air. So it isn't, and the reason for it is the health ramifications of continually heading a ball with a developing brain can cause you problems later in life. So Zero Blade says it's ridiculous. I mean, I was talking to Flex about it today, and I said, the funny thing is, when I was a sort of 13, 14 years of age, I used to, if I had a spare hour or something like that, I'd take a football down the park, I'd blast it up in the air as high as I could and just head it, because it's good practice, isn't it? The wind's moving it around, it's high in the air, it's all about, and I used to do that continually, probably a couple of hours a week. So I think of all the, it's too late, but good covering defending from Varane there. But there has been a lot of footballers, retired footballers, who've had this problem. But I don't know enough about it to scientifically talk about it. But the football that people use, I remember like Jeff Astle, who used to be on fantasy football. He played for West Brom, I think, and he died from. They said that his cause of death had direct links to the heading of a football, which in those days was very, very heavy. I like heading. I like heading in football. I like it when you score a good cross and a header. I think it's a big part of the football. I think it's a big part of football. But I do think this is the beginning of the end of football. And like Flex said to me, one of the things when you're a kid is a lot of people don't like heading the ball anyway. So if you take away training of heading the ball, people aren't going to be very good at it anyway. So it's the beginning of the end, isn't it? I suppose. Roger Melly says you can't take it out of the game. Well, you can. Of course you can. You can easily say heading is a free kick from now on, like a handball. It would totally change the dynamic of football, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did it. But very equal half so far as Mendy comes forward for Real Madrid. Man City will be happy with the start they've had. But very, very, very equal. And M says the Euros are unlikely to happen. I presume this is because of the virus spreading around Europe at the moment. But they could just do it behind closed doors. That's what I think Inter are doing tomorrow, isn't it? With their game in Italy for the Europa League. I just think, and I know Liverpool fans aren't going to like this, but if it really does, if they're really that worried about it, it's not been a great Premier League season anyway, and I'm sure many Chelsea, Arsenal and Spurs fans will agree with me. It's not been a great Premier League, so let's just cancel this one, get on top of this virus and start again next year and just say that this year's nil and void. That's what I think should happen. Mark, who's the better Mendy, Benjamin or Furlan, says Nasser Harain. I haven't watched enough of Furlan to know, to be honest with you. And to be fair, we haven't seen enough of Benjamin either, have we? Because he's been injured a lot. Let's decide on this game. Who's my favourite Man City player, says Ben the Dude Master. I do like De Bruyne. Inter versus Juventus is also going to be behind closed doors, says Rahan Gol. Well, Italy have got a major problem at the moment, haven't they? So, somebody actually is saying that's unfair, what you want the season to be cancelled. I really don't think you watch me very often, do you? I am joking. It's not going to happen. If they did cancel the Premier League, they'd just give it to Liverpool anyway. So, when is the next career mode, says Holy? I said to this last night, I don't know. It will be back, but I just don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm just busy this week. So, I will try and do it, but you're just going to have to subscribe and get your notifications on. DJ John T with the Hey You sticker. Hey You. And Ewan Walsh makes a good point about corners. What about headers? What about corners? What would happen with that regard if heading was banned? Yeah, I think we'd just see a load of short corners, wouldn't we? They'd sort of become redundant, because what's the advantage of a corner if you can't whip a cross in? But then again, it's not like the defence can head it, is it? So everyone's just going to try and volley it, aren't they? So I couldn't imagine football without headers, but I wouldn't surprise me if it's coming. Not a lot to report in this game so far. Very equal game. Zero blade, yeah. Everyone is going to try and do an overhead kick. There'll be a lot of injuries with all those kicks flying around. But 10 minutes in, it's not been the game we would want so far. And I don't think it's a bad game. I just think both teams are cancelling each other out. Defensively, both quite well organised. Midfield's performing well, and nobody's really able to get a foothold of the game so far. But Real Madrid coming forward now. It's Junior down the left-hand side up against Kyle Walker. Whips his cross in, defended well by Laporte, and Ederson will pick up that second ball. City can't perform in these games, says Joel Carter. They are playing at the Bernabeu against the decent Real Madrid side. I think we need to cut them a little bit of slack. It's going to take a bit of time. But, I mean, Man City are in this game as much as Real Madrid are. There's no two ways about that. This cough, this is getting worse for me, this cold. Real Madrid with the cross there. It's going to come now. Man City have got a chance to break away here. But Real Madrid are starting to get hold of the game a little bit now. Man City just need to be just a little bit careful. Their passing game is being exploited by Real Madrid's press at the moment. Real Madrid winning the ball back a lot. And they're on the attack again here. Mark, which country has the best youth coming through? Surely England right now, says Ewan Hacking. I put a tweet out about this today. I said, I don't think it's been the best Premier League season ever, but from an English point of view, Reece James looks good. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. You've got Tomori. You've got Mason Greenwood. Gomez at Liverpool as well. Shaka at Arsenal. And that's not to mention people like Grealish and Maddison, Sancho. So many players coming through at the moment. It is exciting. It is good. And I think that's one of the positives of this season, the amount of young players coming through, getting chances at top 6 clubs. But then again, we're watching Man City, and you look at Phil Foden and you think, what's going on with Phil Foden? Never really seems to get much game time for City. My Fred from the game must be on shorter delay, says Jester Vengeance. Okay. Elliot Bottomley says, Mark, opinions on the Barca board. Why would I have an opinion on the Barcelona board? I don't know anything about that. So, Real Madrid in the box here. Cross coming in. Ooh, good header that by Mendy. But this could be a shot for Varane, way over the bar. Edge of the box, won it off De Bruyne, gets a shot off. But Real Madrid getting a little bit control of the game at the moment. It'll be interesting the second leg, because I think that Man City at the Etihad are going to obviously have a lot of the ball. So Real Madrid will not want to concede tonight and will like to take a lead as well. Long ball up here to Mahrez, but Varane's there. I think Varane, to me, is... I'm always very impressed when I watch Varane. I know we've all got a Van Dijk loving, and I think Van Dijk is the best centre-back in the world, but Varane's very, very good. Won 3 Champions Leagues in a row under Zidane, and I'm always impressed with Varane. I think he's, fantastic player, and probably doesn't get the credit he deserves sort of over in the English game because he doesn't play in it. But I think a very good player, Varane. Real Madrid have got 93% pass accuracy at the moment, says Dot. Jonathan Gallagher says, what do you think of Sergio Ramos? I think Sergio Ramos, when he nearly came to United a couple of years ago, I was very, very excited. But he's not a player that you'd want to come to the Premier League now. He's too old, but good player in his day, and still obviously able to do it. But can he do it on the highest level? Can he, or will he get exploited? We're about to find out. What do people think about Pep's selection tonight? Is it surprising that he's gone with Gabriel Jesus over Aguero? I mean, on the most basic level, Gabriel Jesus is not as good as Sergio Aguero. So, but maybe he's gone with Jesus for the work rate and he's a bit quicker. Daziz Gaming says, Varane won the World Cup and the Champions League in the same season and still didn't win the Ballon d'Or. You see, I think if Van Dijk won the World Cup with Holland and then he won the Champions League with Liverpool, he probably would win the Ballon d'Or. I don't know why Varane's never been considered for it. Maybe because he was in a team that had Ronaldo and Ramos and everybody else. It's hard to... I think if Varane was playing for Liverpool instead of Van Dijk, they'd still be very, very good. I think he is that sort of quality centre-back, but maybe he suffers from playing in a French side that's got bigger stars and a Real Madrid side that's got bigger stars. That's a good question from Stephen Dunthorne. He says, opinions on Rodri as a player. Who would you... And also, Jordan Such says, who would you rather have, Laporte or Varane? So you can answer that in the live comments. For me, I would take Varane over Laporte. I do think Laporte's a good player, but I've always been a big fan of Varane. I mean, it's not something that I look at anymore because I think United centre-backs were okay at the moment. But I think Varane is certainly in the top 3 centre-backs in the world now. And with regards to Rodri, I think Pep likes him. I prefer Fernandinho. I think he's a little bit more tenacious and aggressive, and I think that's very important in that midfield role. Whereas Rodri is more of an architect, isn't he? But He's a big guy, Rodri, as well, isn't he? When you look at him on that pitch there, he's a very tall midfielder. He's sort of like Matic in his prime, isn't he? But he's got better ball distribution than Matic. But you know what I mean? Physicality, strength. He's obviously a lot quicker than Matic now. Most people's gran is. But, I mean, there he is. He picks it up. He's good off both feet, Rodri. I can see, he's a good player. I can see why Pep likes him. But this is a good bit of play by City. And they've got numbers breaking. If they go for Mendy, if he looks inside here, that's Mendy's problem there. Football intelligence. He had a ball onto De Bruyne there and he just never even looked up. But now it's Real Madrid coming attack. Bet Madrid, Barcelona raid by Liverpool players, says Jordan M. I don't know whether they can. Haven't Barcelona got something with Liverpool where they can't sign some of their players for a couple of years? And Real Madrid don't seem to have the money everybody thinks that they've got, because they haven't actually gone and bought a major player like that for a while, have they? They spent a lot of money in the summer, but there wasn't anybody over like 100 million, was there? He's Pep's Busquets, says Sean Williams. Yeah, I think that's a good sort of assessment of Rodri, isn't he? He is very much like a Busquets sort of player. Oh, De Bruyne's put in Gabriel Jesus. Bottom corner. Good save. Should have gone bottom corner. It was glaring at us, the bottom corner there. And he hit it down the middle, which is where Courtois was. Did everything right apart from the finish there, Jesus. That should have been 1-0 to Manchester City. De Bruyne would have had the assist. Quick little ball in between the right back and Varane. Varane comes across, but Jesus gets his shot off. He should score from there. He's gone for power instead of placement. Bottom corner, and that's a goal. But that was the best chance of the game, and it's fallen to Manchester City. Good covering by Rodri here. He might take a yellow card for that, though. Pushing down Jesus. Not Jesus. Junior. And Junior's there straight away saying yellow card, but the referee's saying, get out. I'm not giving a yellow card for that. And I think that was a little bit lucky for Rodri. He's clearly lost the pace battle there. A little bit of a shove. Junior is away. Still got a lot of defenders to get past, but probably should have been a yellow card. And Captain Hood says that's why City should have started Aguero, because that was a chance for Jesus. Well, if they'd started Aguero, he wouldn't come back on his right foot. He would have hit it with his left, which is another reason to maybe start him. Eddie Fraser says favourite player at City. I've already said De Bruyne. I do like De Bruyne. A lot of people talking about Eden Hazard. He's definitely been a flop this season, but a lot of that's been down to injury, hasn't it? I mean, he literally came back at the weekend against Levante and he's done his ankle in again. There's talk that he might not even be in the Euros, which is a big blow for Belgium. Depends if whether he needs an operation or not, says Zidane. But here's Junior again. I mean, I don't watch enough of Real Madrid to know how good this Junior player is. I mean, he was meant to be the next big thing, but he's been a bit hit and miss, hasn't he? But I agree with what a lot of people said at the start of this game. The problem with Real Madrid is not their defence or their midfield, it's their front three. They don't really have that standout front three anymore, do they? Benzema's got to be coming towards the end of his career. And Isco and Junior, are they good enough? Leon hit the bar, says Star Clash Gaming. I don't think that Leon, Juventus, are going to be the threat this Champions League that some people think they're going to be, because I always worry about Italian clubs, because the pace of the Italian league is not the same as the pace of the La Ligas or the Bundesliga or the Premier League. Oh, Hazard, I know why a lot of people are talking about Hazard, because Real Madrid paid 105 million for him. Yes, so there was a big signing from Real Madrid, which, surprise surprise, we all forgot, because he's just not been that big player for them yet, has he? I think Chelsea did good business there. It's a shame they couldn't spend the money. I mean, Hazard was a good player for Chelsea, but I did feel he was sort of falling off a little bit. I feel that Hazard's on the decline. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people, but I feel he is on the decline compared to 2 years ago. But maybe he'll prove us wrong. Tony Kelly says, do you think Salah is underrated at Liverpool? No, I mean, how can you be underrated in a team that's won every single Premier League game, apart from one, where they drew, that's won the Champions League and is the Champions League holders, that is still in the FA Cup and is going to smash all sorts of records? I don't think Salah's underrated. I think he's got a lot of players who are in the team with him who are doing well. That's a foul there on Morez in the box by Junior. He puts his hands up. Put your hands up. Probably wasn't a foul, to be fair, on Morez, but it's one of those ones where you go down, the ref's always going to give it. Jonathan Gallagher thinks that Salah is overrated. Do I think Neymar's on the decline, Shaka Phillips? I have a problem with Neymar and Mbappe anyway. I said this when United played them last year. I think when you're playing in the French league, it's just so difficult. I mean, look, do you see PSG as a defensive side? I was talking about this on the United stand earlier. United have got a lot of clean sheets at the moment, and it's been celebrated like a badge of honour. I don't see United and clean sheets as being a celebration point. I would rather win every game 3-2 than 1-0. I want goals. I want us to attack. I want our focus to be on attack. And I think this season it's been on defence. So I'm not particularly proud of it. But we haven't got the best clean sheet in Europe record. PSG have. And that got me thinking, look, PSG are not a prime Mourinho side, are they? But what's happening with PSG is they're not winning 1-0, are they? They're blasting their opposition. Their opposition are just crap in the French league. So PSG get a lot of clean sheets because they're just so much better than the opposition. And I think that's my problem with Neymar and Mbappe. They're playing in a farmers league, basically. They are playing in a league that they really aren't testing themselves. They're playing in a league where they're beating the opposition easily every week. They're not conceding goals. It's just too easy for them. I would love to see Neymar back in La Liga or in the Premier League, playing at a high level. And I really crave Mbappe doing that. I really want to see Mbappe go and play in a top league week in, week out, because he's definitely good enough. But then I think that's when you see the player. And I can't see Jesus into the box here. It's a good run, but Varane deals with him easy, and Real Madrid will get it away. No, they won't. Bernardo Silva's picked it back up. City's still on the attack here. We'll come back to Mbappe in a moment. Foul to Real Madrid. But yeah, I think Mbappe's got to get out of the French league. Everybody goes what a great player he is, and there's no doubt that. But you look at Messi, you look at Ronaldo, he's got to get into a big league, Mbappe. Neymar chose to leave a big league. That's on him. And I think with Brazilians, it's sometimes you never know with Brazilians. We saw with was it Ramirez and Oscar, who were like in their mid-20s at Chelsea and went to play in China. Brazilians, because they're not European, are they? They come to Europe because they want to play in a better league and earn more money. Why not go to China? But as Mbappe, being a European, knowing the history of France and their players going abroad, he needs to go abroad. It's just who can afford Mbappe. They paid a lot of money for him from Monaco, didn't they? Do you have opinion on the Glazers cash out? Says Jenks110. My only opinion of Glazers is get out. Joe Walsh says Mbappe to Liverpool. I tell you what, if they got hold of him, what a player it would be. De Bruyne, I think he might have been offside. No, it wasn't, but it was well over the bar. Bit of a half chance for De Bruyne there, and I think he knows he should have done better. He's in the box when he picks it up. Cross comes in from Mendy, laid off by Morez. He's onside, gets the shot off, and it's a terrible shot. Man United Everything says, who do you want to win? I don't know who I want to win, to be honest. I'm quite relaxed. I'd normally want Real Madrid to win, but I think Man City have got the best chance of beating Liverpool. And I don't want Liverpool to win the Champions League. And that, Liverpool fans, you shouldn't be moody about that. It's totally about I don't want you to win the treble. And also, you're our biggest rival, so I don't want you to win. Same the other way. Jason Jones says, Juve at best will get to the quarterfinals. I would love Juventus to win the Champions League, because Juventus are my Italian club. They always have been. I would love Juventus to win the Champions League, but I just don't think they're going to have the quality to do it. I don't really want Real Madrid to win it again because they've won it so many times. There is a yellow card now, foul on Modric by Mendy on in the middle of the pitch, and he misses the next match now. He's a bit hot-headed, Mendy, isn't he? It reminds me a little bit of a sort of Shaka player. I think he jumps into tackles a bit. Satinder Singh says, United get top 4 or England win the Euros? Oh, that's a horrible question. You've always got to go with your club team. But I would love to see England win a major tournament, I've got to be honest. Cross coming in from Mendy, the Real Madrid player. Goal! Oh, what? The cross comes in, Benzema heads it, Courtois makes a great save, and you think Junior's just going to tap it in, and for some reason he doesn't. He misses it. But also, how does Benzema win the header? You've got to be looking at Otamendi and Laporte there. I don't know how Benzema gets up, but he does get up on the cross from Mendy, from Real Madrid Mendy. And it should be a tap in for Junior, and for some reason he doesn't tap it in. Madrid would beat Liverpool just like last time, says Nazir Huran. And David Dillon says Barcelona are going to win it. Oh yeah, we can all count on Barcelona to do Liverpool, can't we? Go to bloody Liverpool with a 3-0 lead and bottle it. I think the only way Barcelona beat Liverpool is if it's in a one-off game, because if they go to Anfield, they'll bottle it. They'll be psychologically starred. Stop picking on me because of how I pronounce names. I've always been that. I'm slightly dyslexic, so I always get names wrong. Like Robin, I always called him Robin or Robin. Croyce. I'm always like that. I know why you're taking the piss out of me. It definitely wasn't Courtois saving from Benzema. It was from Ederson. I want to see that chance back again. They'll surely show it now because it's just gone out for a goal kick. And a Man City player has gone down. But let's just see that it's Laporte who's gone down. If he's injured again, this could be a problem. And I think he is. Laporte injured here. Cross coming in from Ferland Mendy. Benzema gets up. Too strong for Laporte. And Junior, who should have a tap in, slips over. Good header by Benzema, but Junior here. How has he missed that? What a prat. What a prat. I would have scored this. It's such an easy goal. Leon are winning 1-0. Laporte off injured again not for Real Madrid, Man City. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We nearly had 6,000 people watching last night. Maybe we can do it tonight. So please share the video as well. But if you've not subscribed, bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get up to 125,000 subscribers tonight. Well, he's only played half an hour, Laporte. It feels like he's only played half an hour all season because he's off injured again, and that looks like it could be quite a... Well, if you're going off after half an hour, have City acquired an injury-prone player there? It's the most hardest position in the world. If you just can't carry injured players. You cannot carry injured players, and he looks very, very upset. Is Laporte French? I think he is French. They bought him from Bilbao, didn't they? But, yeah, I think they may well have bought an injury-prone player there because he's gone off injured again. Leeds are winning 1-0, says Harsh. Should Leipzig get past Spurs in the second leg? How much further do you think they could go? Could they do an Ajax, or will they get knocked out next round? Oh, look, Jordan, I'm going to say that. I'd love Juventus to win the Champions League. They're never going to win the Premier League. Kojak's Football Sack, thanks for the contribution. But I would have loved Ajax to win the Champions League last year. I would love to see Leipzig winning it. I think if you're performing well, you've always got a chance. I don't think there is a dominant force in European football at the moment. I think Liverpool would probably be that favourite because they're holders and they're doing so well in the Premier League. But I don't think there is the big dominant force anymore. I think for many years it was sort of Real Madrid or Barcelona, and they were a long way ahead of everybody. But I don't think there is anymore. So Leipzig, if they keep playing well, could do quite well in the tournament. Juventus are losing already. Yeah, I don't think Juventus are that good. Marcus Grahamson says, this is my favourite YouTuber. Thanks, pal. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. I love doing these anyway. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We're 35 minutes in. It's 0-0. Gabriel Jesus had a good chance. I think Vinicius Jr. had an even better chance, but scuffed thin air from a Benzema header. It should be 1-0 really. Well, it should be 1-1 really, but I think the better chance was Real Madrid's. And another foul there. Rodri on Benzema. Spanish clubs are still the same, aren't they? Every foul they're looking for a yellow card. But Laporte's gone if injured for Man City as well. I'll tell you what, Rodri could have got a yellow card there. Who's the better manager, Pep or Zidane? Says Nazir Harun. I'm quite critical of Pep, but I do think he probably is the better manager because he's done it at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Man City. Granted, he's done it with a checkbook every single time, but Zidane at Real Madrid, it's not easy to do it at Real Madrid, but I do think Pep's probably the better manager. But then again, nothing happens with that free kick. Thomas says, "Would you rather Liverpool win the Prem or the Champions League again?" Well, it's not even a point, Thomas, because they're going to win the Prem. De Bruyne with a lovely ball out wide to Jesus here. He's on the edge of the penalty box out wide. Little flick into Silva, half a shot, and it's in the keeper's hands comfortably there. Haunted Radio says, why are players more attracted to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, and do you think it will change? I think it will change, Haunted Radio. I think it was just that Real Madrid and Barcelona were the two best clubs in the world for such a long period of time with really great history that it appeals to a lot of people. But I think that if Real Madrid and Barcelona stop winning Champions Leagues and Premier League clubs win it more often, then that's how it can change. But Real Madrid and Barcelona they've always been massive clubs, so a lot of people, like United, were really unfortunate with Ronaldo because his dream was always to play for Real Madrid. And as much as he loved being at United and he came from Sporting Lisbon and he was superb for us, he always wanted to play for Real Madrid. And it's a bit like, if you always want to play for Manchester United and you start your career, you're not at Manchester United, you go to PSG or Juventus, you do really, really well, and then Manchester United want you, you're going to go there. I think with Ronaldo, it was always... We were lucky to have Ronaldo for what we had, but yeah. Just heard Alexis Sanchez has got coronavirus, says Dylan Abutnot. I don't know whether that's a joke or not. I hope it is. I'm sure it is. Pep's asks too much of his players and they break down, says Thomas Mendehal. A lot of managers do that though. Mourinho does that. That's why he's a short-term manager. He absolutely blasts them for a couple of years and then that's it. No. You're right. Canal de Football, which has over 500,000 followers, are saying that Alexis Sanchez has got coronavirus. So it's true. unless you can set up a fake account with 500,000 subscribers, 500,000 followers. That's coming from a blue tick. Oh no. But then somebody else is saying it's quite a bad way to put it. Alexis Sanchez doesn't have coronavirus. It's Chilean media, and they're saying it's hit the area Inter are in. I don't know. I don't know whether it's true or not. So 40 minutes gone in this game anyway. Quite equal. Two very good chances for either. But it remains 0-0, which will suit Real Madrid. They don't want to be conceding goals. Lyon are 1-0 up against Juventus. I don't think it's true about Alexis Sanchez. I think it's just that Chilean media are reporting that there is coronavirus in the area that Inter are in. I think what we've seen today in this game so far, though, is your classic two good teams going in on each other, and they're sort of cancelling each other about neither team. You get this quite a lot. This reminds me a bit of international football in the sort of Euros or the World Cup, when you get two decent teams against each other. People start to say it's a boring game. It's not a boring game. It's just that neither side can get the momentum because they're both sort of going at it equally. Those saying that there is corona is Northern Italy. Do you think Ronaldo will come to United to retire, says Samson and King? I think those days are gone. I don't think even United fans entertain it. Thoughts on Chris Smalling stay at United, says Jordan M? No, I think Chris Smalling should go, really, and we get some money for him, and all the best. Bit of a break in play here. Who looks the better team, says Max Platt. Well, I'm going to ask people who are watching in the live comments what they think about who the best team. Who do you think the better team is? You've got to remember that Real Madrid are the home side, so that sort of balances it. I think it's a 50-50. I think Real Madrid probably slightly the better team, but then Man City are the away side, which, you know, in Europe can be quite... I mean, you watch United at home to Bruges tomorrow. We'll have a lot more of the ball than we did in their place. Why is United Derby on Thursday, says Dan11. I've got no idea why an FA Cup game is being played on a Thursday, Dan. It's ridiculous. We've had enough of Thursday night football. Alvin Blocks, hi pal, hope you're doing well. And Man City, a lot of people are saying Man City are the better team at the moment. Some people are saying 50-50. I think as an away point, Jester's Vengeance says it's even right now. I think as an away point, it's going quite well for Man City at the moment. Aidan Reget says neither. Somebody's got to be doing well. What's my favourite type of biscuit, says NBMW? I like a good hobnob. Kenzel says if United get through, they're going to get Rangers next round. So Fernandinho's come on again for Laporte. Laporte's out now. Can't believe I always do this. I get like a headache and a blocked up nose. Then I get over it, and then I get a secondary cold. Who is more bold, Pep or Zidane? Says Jenks1102. Do you see Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo lifting the Champions League trophy again? Says Jordan Such. I think Ronaldo might struggle. Messi's still got 5 or 6 years left, hasn't he? And Barcelona are always going to have the resources to get back up there. But I don't think we'll see Barcelona dominating football for a few years. I think they're a very ageing team now, aren't they? Would you take the coronavirus in exchange for United winning the title? Says Anamish Ranjan. Yeah. Oh, I would take the threat of death for my football club to win the title. Some people would. Vitamin C for your cold, about 500 milligrams a day, and you beat it. Thank you, Jeff. And everybody who's saying coronavirus is about a chesty cough and everything like that. And also, I've not been anywhere near Italy or anywhere else, so I haven't got it. And even if I have got it, which I haven't got, you're not going to catch it through watching my live stream. Sean Miller, if you bring one player from City and Real to United, who would you pick? If you could choose anyone in the world to pair with Bruno, who would it be? If I could take one player from City, I would probably take Guerrero, because I think we need another striker. Or, that's what I'd take. I mean, I think Mahrez would do well, because we need a right winger as well. But I'd take Aguero, even though I like De Bruyne. I don't actually probably take De Bruyne and stop us playing two holding midfielders and play De Bruyne with Bruno. And then from Real Madrid, Casemiro would be brilliant. Casemiro, De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. That's what I would do. And that answers Nazor Haran's question as well. Sam says he's going on holiday to Italy in July. Let's hope it's all sorted by then. Well, it should be all sorted by then, Sam, because as soon as we get some hot weather, that tends to kill a lot of flu viruses. What's my prediction for Manchester United Bruges? Well, I've just done the preview on the United stand. And, City! Nearly going, that was the chance there. Corner comes in, falls to Mahrez, who shoots, and I think it's actually stopped on the line. Referee's not had a vibrating arm, so it's obviously going to be not gone over the line, but that was nearly, just before half-time, a goal for Manchester City. I fancy City, says Fuad Mukhtar. Here we go. Mahrez, I think it was going wide actually, it wasn't even stopped on the line. There was a lot of Real Madrid players there, and as Mahrez hits it, yeah, it was going wide anyway. In fact, Ramos nearly puts it into his own net. That would have been a calamitous mistake because it was going wide. Could have been 1-0. Have you heard about United scouting Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad? Apparently scored a brace against Real Madrid, says Moneymaker123. I haven't heard that. No, I haven't. But I have stopped the clock. It's half time and it is Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. So we haven't got the goals that we hoped we would get, but we've had a good couple of chances. Man City nearly scoring at the end there. Gabriel Jesus with the first big chance of the game, and then a Benzema header that should have been tapped home by Junior, and he kicked at thin air. So that's why it is 0-0 at the moment. Adiyiti Bankoli says, Mark, are you a blood or crip? Laugh out loud. And I would take Bernardo Silva at United, says Seamus Conroy. He's a good player. Do you reckon they will not do the Euros because of this virus, says James Maggan? I don't know, mate, because the Euros are in June, and in June it's normally quite hot and sunny, and you don't normally get flu outbreaks in the summer. So it could all be, it could all be gone, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. I mean, it's obviously a very infectious disease, and I think it is going to be a pandemic by the looks of it. It's going to go everywhere, isn't it? So there are going to be implications from that, but I think that the implications are probably going to be more immediate than the Euros. I think, you look at Inter Milan, they're playing games behind closed doors because that's in the area where the virus is at the moment. I think that virus is going to spread all around the world. So we may well see in England that Premier League games are sort of played behind closed doors as well. So I don't think football needs to stop. I just think that the way football is being spectated may need to change for a little bit. It's 1-1 in the Lyon versus Juventus game as well. And tea or coffee, says Ryan Burke. Depends on the time of the day. Do you think the fans could uproar so much that they would unban it, Mark? Says Ashley Dabbs. I don't think it will get banned. I think it's too far in the future to be concerned about that at the moment. Could the Euros... I've read that by Alfred. Why is Bale in the thumbnail, says Mount. Bale's in the thumbnail, Mount, because I thought Bale was going to start the game tonight, and he didn't. And I think that Gareth Bale probably should have started the game tonight, because I don't think Junior has had a very good game, has he? So, yeah. It's not 1-1 in the Juventus game anyway, it's 1-0. Who's had the best chances, says Bruce Lee? Man City, really. I think they've had 2 good chances to Real Madrid's 1. But Man City, it's all about trying to get that away goal. And Real Madrid, it's all about taking a lead to the Etihad. And I think in the Etihad, we'll see, as I said in the first half, we'll see a totally different game where Man City are totally on the front foot and Real Madrid are trying to hit on the brakes. So it's evenly poised, this game, and it's obviously going to be a lot tighter. Well, it's probably going to be tight like a lot of people thought. Mark, I would love to see you go on tour, says Man United Everything. And what did you think of the Monday Night Football Greatest Team debate, says Dylan? I didn't watch it. I don't really watch Monday Night Football, to be honest with you. What kind of boots do you wear? Timberland? Or football boots? I've got Adidas. Mark, I've read that. And only... I would love to... Oh, God. I'll tell you what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start timing people out, because I'll read your comment, but stop just copying and pasting it. Because one, you're clearly not listening to or watching the show or reading other comments, because you're just going copy and paste in the hope that I read it. So if I see repetitive comments, I'm not reading them anymore, because as you can see, I do read a lot of comments, but I'm getting caught by the same comment that I've already answered. So if I see them anymore, I'm just going to time them out. Like Connor, I've already answered that question, so you're timed out. Unlucky. City will need to win this season to recover from being spanked on the Premiership, says Alfred Big Boots. And Haaland or Werner, says Suban Baig. Well, I think Haaland is very, very young, obviously, but I think what he's doing is sensational. He's absolutely brilliant. So Danny thinks that both teams are playing for a 0-0. They're not. When's the next Blood Brothers season out? I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to be in it. Who do I think is going to win the Champions League, says Matthew Stewart. Well, I'll tell you what. You lot answer that, because there's a long answer to that, isn't there? I think at the start of the season, I wasn't able to pick a winner this year. And I didn't pick the winner last year, but I did go quite early on who I thought was going to win it. I think this year, Liverpool are a real threat. I think Man City are a threat. And from what I've seen about Bayern Munich, I think Bayern Munich look good if they can keep Lewandowski fit. And I know he's out for a month now, but if they keep Lewandowski fit, I think Bayern Munich look good. And then I just don't know. I mean, look, I would love to see Dortmund do well now that they've got Haaland and they've got Sancho as well. I'd like to see Leipzig do well. I think the German clubs are a threat for the first time in a while. So, but I still think Liverpool or Man City could do this. I don't think Barcelona. I've lost faith in Barcelona after last year, where they've got a 3-0 lead and they blow it. I have lost a lot of faith in them. Atletico Madrid, says Allian. Look, if Atletico Madrid knock Liverpool out, the confidence that they will get from that, then they will become a candidate for it. But I really do think that Liverpool will turn them over at Anfield. I mean, if they can turn over a 3-0 lead against Barcelona, they can turn over a 1-0 lead against Atletico Madrid. And Atletico Madrid are only going to play one way. So look, I'm hopeful that maybe a Dortmund or a Leipzig or a Juventus can win it. but I think it will be a Man City or a Bayern or a City or a Liverpool. Missed my last dono, Mark. Please read it, says Jay Singh. Sorry about that. And Liverpool or Man City, says Michael Wood. For this season, I would want Man City to win the Champions League because there's a very, very big risk that Liverpool can win the treble. And I don't want that to ever happen unless it's United again. Alfred Big Boot says Barcelona are poor. They need to buy players. The Messi show is coming to an end. I don't think the Messi show is coming to an end. I just think Messi is moving into that sort of arena now that Ronaldo did. And remember, Ronaldo at Real Madrid, he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. But it wasn't always the Ronaldo show, was it? There was a quality team around him. And I think what Messi needs is a quality team around him now, because I don't think he can do it all on his own. He does need a team around him. And we saw that last season. Messi was still a great player last year, but the team around him isn't as good as it used to be. Who's going to win the Europa League, says the King. I think the Europa League is always very hard to predict. Inter Milan look decent. Ajax look like they might go out. And then you've got United, Arsenal. So I predicted a United-Arsenal final. I'd love it to be a United-Arsenal final. But the Europa League's hard to call. It is hard to call. And I'm not convinced Inter Milan are as good as people think they are, because as we've seen with Juventus tonight, just because the Italian league's really competitive and it's got good players in it, the Italian league's always been a slow league and it's been lagging behind in Europe for a few years now, and I still think it is lagging it behind. I'd love to see an Italian team win it, but I don't think they're good enough. Billy Yeoman says, do you think United or Arsenal can win the Europa League and get top 4? I think it's very difficult. Very difficult. And looking at the Arsenal team, I don't think they've got an amazing amount of depth if they get injuries to someone like Aubameyang or Pepe, or, well, some people might say that might be a good thing, but I don't think they've got a great amount of depth, Arsenal. So if they're playing Thursday, Sunday, I think that could be hard. From United's point of view, I think it's very difficult to do Thursday to Sunday anyway. So I think in the modern game you've got to take a choice, especially now Chelsea are out effectively of the Champions League. They can focus on top 4. So for United, they may need to make a decision soon. I think over the next 3 or 4 weeks, United are going to have to see where they are. Do you think City will ever win the Champions League, says Leo? I think with the amount of money Manchester City have got, and the fact that they, consistently win Premier Leagues, I think it's inevitable at some point that they will win the Champions League. Let's just have a look. I'm just going to have a quick check on something here. We are about to kick off the second half, but not quite. God, that's slow. We are on 124,700 subscribers, so we're 300 away from 125, which is a big landmark for the channel. 125 is a big landmark for the channel. So please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner to do that. Let's see if we can get up to 125,000 subscribers while we're live. Bottom right hand corner, click the subscribe button. We do watch alongs on here. Everybody is welcome, of course, on the channel. I don't know what the next watch along is going to be. I know we're going to do Chelsea Liverpool next Tuesday in the FA Cup. I don't know about the weekend. We normally do one. So FIFA, play a bit of FIFA on here, and obviously Premier League preview goes up on a Friday. So lots of stuff to get involved with. Everybody is welcome on here, and I really do enjoy doing it. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Alexis Sanchez has not got coronavirus. This is a mistranslated article from Chile talking about Alexis Sanchez playing in Milan, close to where there is a coronavirus outbreak. He has not got it at the moment. And Can you do a City and Madrid combined 11, says Nazor Haroon? Not really. I just can't be arsed. I'm just not motivated to do a Real Madrid versus Man City combined 11. But if someone wants to do one, I'll read it out. I'd put Ederson in goal. I'd put Kyle Walker at right back. Mendy at left back. Which one? Centre backs would be Varane and Laporte if he ever was bloody fit. Midfield, Casemiro, De Bruyne, and I'd play Bernardo Silva central so that I could play Aguero, Sterling, and... See, I'd still play Bale over Isco or Mahrez or anything like that, but that's just me. Will Poch pick United over Bayern if given the choice, says Anamish Ranjan. I don't know whether Bayern are looking at Poch, but I think Poch wants to manage in the Premier League. Yeah, I think he's been very open about that. So I get... Whether it's the right decision or whether it happens, I get the feeling that Pochettino does desperately want the Manchester United job. That's my interpretation of it. Do I think Celtic or Rangers can win the Europa League, says Kent. I'm very impressed with what Rangers have done tonight. 3-2 in the home leg at Ibrox. Going to Braga, I expected them to get knocked out. I thought they might lose 1-0, away goal, or even 2-0. So to go and win 1-0 in Portugal is very impressive from Rangers, and it certainly means that Rangers can put up a fight in the Europa League. It would be a massive achievement to win it, but it shows the quality of Rangers and Celtic is probably higher than I thought, because the Scottish League's been crap for a long time in relation to Europe. So that's very impressive what Rangers have done. I'd be very interested to see what would happen if Rangers pulled out of Wolves or a United. It'd be interesting. I mean, the English club would be the favourites. Why do you think Pep left out Sterling and Aguero, says PAVFC? I've got no idea. I've got no idea why he's done it. I really don't know. I think you'd enjoy Football Manager 2020 more than FIFA, to be honest, says James Pine. I know. I did do a first episode of FIFA, Football Manager, but I've never gone back to it. I do need to go back for it. We've nearly got 6,000 people watching, which is great. And we nearly had 6,000 last night. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I think at the weekend I might do Liverpool versus Watford at 5:30 or Watford versus Liverpool at 5:30. I've got a feeling that might be a little bit closer. But I'm just reticent to do it in case Liverpool just easily win 3 or 4-0 like United did. But I'm hoping that Watford might put in a better performance, and it might be a closer game, Watford-Liverpool on Saturday. So I might do that as a watch-along. Or I might just do the 3 o'clock kickoffs, although I don't think they're that great, apart from Chelsea-Bournemouth, which I think if Chelsea were playing Bournemouth on the telly, I'd watch that, because as a United fan, I want them to lose. Fansin Pio says, I'm really good at Football Manager. Good for you. And Sterling's been bottling it this season, says Mohamed. Yeah, I think Sterling's not hit the heights of last season this year, so maybe that's why he's been dropped, and Mahrez has been good. I don't understand why you'd ever play Jesus over Aguero, I've got to say. I am thinking about doing a watch-along Ballinking on Sunday night. I'll either do El Clasico or Inter versus Juve. Bale should have started, says Hake One. I agree. That's why Bale's on the picture. I thought that Bale would start tonight. So, yeah. Players are coming back on the pitch now. Nazar Haroun says, Mark, do you think Getafe and Sevilla are a threat to the Europa League? Can Sevilla win the title without Emery? I don't know. I mean, I will have a quick look at that, because when you look at the Europa League and the teams in it, and we're just about to kick off, so let me just get the timer started. And we're up and running. Okay. So there are a few teams in the Europa League that I don't really know a lot about, but you sort of judge them on the league. So Basel, don't expect them to be that good. Espanyol are going out. Obviously, Wolves are going to win that. Porto, Leverkusen will probably win that. And Leverkusen are a potential threat because the Bundesliga is quite strong this year. Sporting Lisbon, I don't think they're going to be that good. And Roma, again, Italian club. I just don't think they're going to be that good. AZ Alkmaar, they were okay. They were okay. I still think an English club should beat them. Wolfsburg, another one, a German club. You just don't know how good they're going to be. Getafe, they're doing quite well in the Liga this season, and they're going to knock Ajax out by the look of it. Arsenal should beat Olympiacos. Benfica, Shakhtar Donetsk, don't think they're a threat either. Celtic should get through Copenhagen. Eintracht Frankfurt, they could be a good side. They're going to knock Salzburg out. So Inter Milan, United, and then Sevilla. I mean, there's a lot of clubs in there that you just don't know how good they're going to be. Like Wolfsburg, Leverkusen, and the Eintracht Frankfurt. If you look at the German league, Leverkusen are in 5th. Wolfsburg are in 7th. Eintracht Frankfurt are in 11th. So, and Leverkusen are only 6 points off the top of the league there. Whereas there's a big drop down to Wolfsburg. So Leverkusen could be a threat. They could be a threat. Nasser Haroun, do you think... I've read that one. Anyway, we're up and running in this game. Simbo says, Mark, put your hood up and do something funny. Me putting my hood up would be funny. I look a right prat with a hood on. I've never been good with hoodies or beanie hats. We've got another yellow card here, and it's going to go to a Real Madrid player. Mr. Fish says, Chelsea came third and won the Europa League. I think in the history of... I think Chelsea are the only team I know that's got in the top 4 and won the Europa League. It's very hard to do. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it is hard to do. Zelup says that Jesus is overrated. I don't know why Aguero's not starting tonight, but it nearly paid off. But it didn't. Alex James, you are going to get blocked if you are telling a lie. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, you're gone, Alex. What a shame. Nick P, I know exactly what's going to happen in the Europa. It will involve Ashley Young backside and Romelu's left hoof. We are due one more banter moment. I definitely think that Manchester United would beat Inter Milan. De Bruyne is coming away with the ball here. Plays it into Morez. They're into the box. Oh, he had that little bend on it, but it was still a metre away as it came back towards the goal. Good break from Man City there, but no goal. Hoping a Scots team draw a Battle of Britain tie, says Stephen Biari. I remember United. I think it was I don't think it was United. I think it was Leeds versus Rangers in '92. That's how old I am. Yeah. That's the first one I remember. I'm pretty sure Leeds and Leeds, I think at the time were like the Lee Chapman sort of time. What made you start United Stand and change your name, says Guled Yusuf. It's all out there, mate. I'm not talking about that. Thanks for the contribution, though, but it's boring. I'm not talking about it, and I don't know whether you're trying to be a smart arse. So Lyon seem to be dominating Juve, 11 shots, whereas Juve only have 4 shots. I'd rather talk about why I started That's Football, and that was because away from Manchester United, I do watch a lot of football. So I just was like, when I'm watching games that aren't United, no one really wants to watch it with me. So I was like, let's just do a few watch-alongs. And I'm just very passionate about football, so it's nice to be able to interact with people that aren't necessarily United fans, or they're United fans who are not watching United and just watch football. So yeah, I enjoy That's Football. It's relaxing. I think that the United stand is always quite stressful because it's your club, and when you're watching your club, you get emotionally attached and involved. Whereas when it's not United, I can just enjoy the football a lot of the time. And even if it's Liverpool or it's a rival, if they score a good goal, they score a good goal. Do you think Ronaldo leaves Juventus if they fail to win the Champions League, says the Bit W? David Attenborough's not dead. No, he's not dead. It's just idiots in the live comments. So, yeah. Mark, who is the best British player to play for Real Madrid? People call Bale a flop. David Beckham. David Beckham. And I don't think Ronaldo will leave Juventus this summer, no. Because where would he go? I think he wants to win the Champions League there. Thoughts on De Ligt this season, TJ Hayde? I tell you what, De Ligt needs to sort himself out. He's young enough, but I don't think Juventus was the right move for De Ligt. You think about De Ligt, right? If he'd gone to Barcelona, which is where he was meant to be going, he would have played a lot more football. If he'd gone to Manchester United, he would have played a lot more football. He went to Juventus in a league that's slow, in a team that's already got good defenders, and I think he struggled to adapt. He's made himself a rich person, but that's Mino Raiola for you. I think Modric is going in the book here for a foul on Morez, yellow card. Does he miss the next game? Doesn't look like it. Mitchell Simmons says, what's your favourite fast food joint? I've said it once and I'll say it again. It all depends on what mood you're in. Sometimes I want a pizza, sometimes I want a kebab. Sometimes I want a Chinese takeaway, sometimes I want an Indian. Elliot Horton was talking about kids not being able to head the ball, and he thinks it's ridiculous. But they're just doing it because it's a snowflake society, aren't they? They don't want kids to head the ball because there's medical evidence that it can damage their brains that aren't developed, so they're going to ban it because there's a risk of being sued. That's what it's all about. How does football operate without heading a ball? Well, I think what we're going to see is if you can't coach kids to head a football, you're going to have to rely on them being coached to head a football when they're adults. Here's Junior into the box. He's overrun it. He's crap. He is crap. Real Madrid have been so poor, given Laporte went off early, not troubled City at all, says Jordan Such. Ronaldo won't leave Juventus. Yeah, reason why players are going to Italy is because they only get taxed on 50% of their salary, says Christopher Williams. Thanks for that, Christopher. He's terrible, that Junior. Get Bale on, I say. Get Gareth Bale on, because that Junior's crap. He should have. He just fell over the ball in a one-on-one, and he missed the tapping in the first half. He's a Brazilian Beppe. And now Man City are looking strong with Morez. Oh, skills by Morez. Shot by Morez, saved by Real Madrid, and cleared by Real Madrid. Do you think Manchester United could beat Real Madrid, says DJ Unlimited? No. Manchester United are not on this level. If you think about, United have played Man City 3 times this season. We've beaten them twice, but Man City have dominated the ball and had way more shots than us. We could beat Real Madrid, but I wouldn't expect us to beat Real Madrid because they are playing an even game against Man City, who just dominate us every time we play them. What a shot, what a chance there. Morez is through. Another save. That I think Man City are starting to turn the screw a little bit here. The away goal seems to be getting closer. I did predict Man City would win this, and at the moment they are catching Real Madrid out a lot. Morez is getting a lot of space, and he had a shot there and it was well saved by Cortez. But it's Mendy now into De Bruyne. Good tackle. De Bruyne's gone down as if he's been fouled, but I don't think he was. Real Madrid, who's that? He's crap. It was Casemiro. He's normally better than that. I saw Lingard getting a bit of stick today. They had some video of United training and they're all passing the ball around, and then Lingard's dancing around the ball in the background and obviously got a lot of stick for that. You don't know whether that's like a couple of minutes, where they're all training in different groups, and Lingard's group could have just been told to just take 5 minutes rest, but I mean, Lingard's going to go in the summer, isn't he? He's got to go. Nazar Haroon says, Junior looks 30. Who's the best young player at Madrid? Odegaard, Hakimi, Junior or Rodrigo? Well, I do like Odegaard, but at least Real Madrid seem to have some young players coming through. I'm not really aware of Barcelona having that many coming through. They need another Messi. How's your football index profile doing, says Michael Rain? I haven't looked in ages, actually. Mendy's coming down the left-hand side here. He's got a lot of space. Can he deliver a cross? No, he can't, but it has gone for a corner. FaZe Ashdog 11 says, would you say Gareth Bale is a Real Madrid legend? Not to Real Madrid fans. They don't like him, do they? But actually, when you look at his career at Real Madrid, he's done very well. I mean, to be honest with you, he's probably one of the best British players to play for Real Madrid, isn't he? I mean, I say Beckham, but I think what Bale achieved, I mean, he got them back into a Champions League final, didn't he? Fernandinho shoots from distance, that's gone wide. His overhead kick in the final was delicious. Barcelona have got Fatty, yeah. And Sion Roberts says, Lyon are dominating Juventus. They've had 11 shots, whereas Juventus have only had 4. I don't think that Juventus are going to be a real contender for this Champions League. I just don't. I think the Italian league is not as good as it wants to be. And I think similarly with the Europa League, a lot of people think, oh, Inter Milan are going to be one of the better teams. Well, Inter Milan didn't get out of a group with Dortmund and was it Barcelona in it? Here's Junior. This should be 1-0. It is 1-0. It's Isco, and Junior provides the assist. I've jinxed him in the wrong way. Jinxed him in the wrong way. I think it comes from a Man City messing about at the back. It looks like it's Otamendi. Otamendi, poor pass to Rodri, poor pass back to Otamendi. Kyle Walker gets stuck with the ball under his feet. Junior squares it to Isco, who slides it into the bottom corner. And Real Madrid have got that goal. And I tell you what, if you're Manchester City, you're not going to be very happy. You're not going to be very happy with that if you're Manchester City, are you? Mark, I'm a Real Madrid fan. Bale is a legend. He won 4 Champions League with us. Welsh Dragon forever, says Nazar Haroun. Yeah, but he's not that well received by all Real Madrid fans, is he? But Pep's clapping his hands, but I think he'll be mightily pissed off. On the balance of play, You wouldn't really say that Man City should be 1-0 down. It's been quite equal, but I think in the second half, Man City were sort of getting on top a little bit. So to go 1-0 down, they'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Of course, it's not game over by any stretch of the imagination for Manchester City, but they would expect a little bit better than that defensively. But as per usual with Manchester City, they're not playing with Laporte again. Otamendi lets them down, and I think that's been the problem for Manchester City all season, and it could be a problem for Manchester City all season as well, that defensively they get themselves into trouble in tight games where they need a stronger defence. They've contributed to their own downfall there, and they've done it quite a lot this season. An injury to Laporte after half an hour, he's been taken off. It's Fernandinho and Otamendi, and they've made a mess there, Otamendi. But Man City will fancy their chances to get back into this game. It has been quite an equal game. Wouldn't be surprised if it did end 1-1, but at the moment it is Real Madrid leading the game. Get Gareth Bale on, I would say. 6,000 of you watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get up to 125,000 subscribers. We've got half an hour to go in this game. Real Madrid have the lead through Isco. Very equal game. Man City, to me, I felt that Man City looked like they were going to score before the goal, but defensive error, they take the chance. JT Music says, score another goal, Real Madrid. I think if Real Madrid got a 2-0 lead, that would be very hard for Manchester City to turn around at the Etihad. 1-0. I think Man City, I really do think, a goal changes a game, doesn't it? And you think about, is Modric going to get a second yellow card here? Pep said no, it was his shoulder. He is on a yellow card. It looked like a handball to me, that, by Modric, but VAR will certainly have a look at it, I think. But yeah, now it's 1-0 to Real Madrid. I'm thinking if they can keep a 1-0 score for the Etihad, the way it's been, it makes it very hard for Man City. But then if it can, the away goal will swing it. 2-0 to Lyon. Looks like Lyon are going to be knocking Juventus out. Actually, it's not 2-0. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 to Lyon, not 2-0. Very important stage for this game now. Very important stage because a goal for City puts them back in the driving seat. But if Real Madrid can keep a clean sheet, they're in a very strong position. Elliot Horton says Top Boy Season 2 started filming today. Yeah, I loved that. Hopefully that'll be out before the end of the year. I really enjoyed Top Boy. Witcher was really good as well. I've really enjoyed You. Narcos Mexico, I'm enjoying that as well. So much good TV at the moment. I need to watch that. Is it Strangers on Amazon? That looks good as well. De Bruyne across. Man City need to keep their head here for the next few minutes. They can't be going conceding another one. Outsider does look good, but I got rid of Now TV. I was paying for too many things. I already got Prime. I've already got Netflix. I was like, I've got to get rid of Now TV. How are you? Says Ajmal Cosman. How are you, Ajmal? I'm alright. I think it's been a good game. I've enjoyed it. And I still think this next 25 minutes is going to be a key part. I think the interesting thing about European knockout is that a game isn't really a game. It's half time, isn't it? It's in quarters. half time is basically the first quarter. And I think this second half in Madrid is going to have a big impact this next 25 minutes on the outcome. Is the Walking Dead back now, Mitchell O'Hara? It should be. Is it back? I always miss it when it comes back from the mid-season break. I do need to watch it. MS says, why does Rance always back Lingard? I mean, a little bit of a message for you, MS. I'm not Rance. I don't know how his brain works. Watch Whitechapel on Netflix. I watched it years ago on ITV. If it's the Whitechapel you're on about, I really enjoyed it. It was on years ago, though. Thanks, Isaac Setnor. All good, thank you. Hope yours is as well. It is back. It is back. Walking Dead. Back yesterday. Adam says that Celtic are going to win the league and the Europa League. Well, you always win the league. That's nothing new. I wonder if Rangers will actually get good enough to win the league at some point. Morez, that's not a foul. Play on, says the referee. And now Junior, and he can run Otamendi. He's playing with a little bit more confidence now. Here's Isco towards the edge of the box to Mendy. It's been a funny old game today with two Mendys playing, both at left back for each side. I wonder why English clubs are struggling so much, says Leaf Hunter. I think in relation to Spurs and Manchester United and Arsenal and Chelsea, that's a valid question. In relation to Manchester City, I think their heads have gone in a way, but I still think losing 1-0 to Real Madrid isn't the end of the world. Real Madrid are going to be one of the favourites to win this tournament. So Real Madrid's, I think Man City and Liverpool are still very good teams. It's below those two that there's been a real drop-off in quality in the Premier League. I've never watched Money Heist. Marcus Wright. A lot of people say it's good though. Real Madrid put the ball out there. Oh no, they don't. They've kept it in. They've kept it in and they're coming forward now. 20 minutes to go. Or so. 25 minutes probably to go actually. And it's gone out for a throw-in. Sebastian Kinlan wants a happy birthday shout out. Leon has been really good today, says Jack's Alex Starr. That made me laugh. Toby Pierce says, why does nobody put Southampton in the title race? At least you made me laugh, Toby. You got your shout out there. Emma B says, I'm a huge fan of you. It's good. I enjoy it. On Netflix, I think it's good. I think the start of the second season I was nearly going to give up because it's a change of location, but I think after episode 3 you really start to get drawn in and enjoy it. I think Real Madrid, they're on the attack here. It's Modric, Casemiro into Isco. He's going to whip a cross in. It's a good cross, but it's cleared by Otamendi for a throw-in. Yeah, I think any season where they change the dynamic quite a lot, you need to it's almost like starting watching again, isn't it? And You does that. It moves basically one character to the next season in a whole totally different location. True Detectives, isn't it? With different people in it, and although it's the same name, it's Narcos does it as well in season 3. So. Sadi Rahman, Sheffield United for Champions League? I don't think so. I think Sheffield United will be over the moon with a top half of the table thing. Oh, look at it. He's done it again. I've just got to move a minute. This happened with Peppa Pig before, and the telly's going to change to record something again. Bloody not. We ain't changing to Peppa Pig again. Get Get back in the bin, Peppa Pig. Well, Real Madrid at the moment are looking like most likely to score the second goal. I think Man City have taken that goal from Real Madrid to heart a little bit too much, and they were doing well before at 0-0. Man City, they just need to get their head back on here, because 1-0, it doesn't make a massive amount of difference. If you get the away goal, it's advantage you. But it's Real Madrid coming forward again. He's overhit that, but this goes in. Oh! Chance for Ramos. I don't know what Ramos is actually doing forward, that far forward. But he's in the box, he shoots, and it deflects over off Fernandinho for a corner, but it was a chance there. Yeah, I do watch Stranger Things, Kyle Goodall. When's the next season out? Because I didn't think it would be out till 2021. Jay Singh says, all right, Mark, have you seen what Duncan Castles has said about United regarding the summer transfer window? He said we're in prime position for Sancho. Yeah, he said we're in prime position for Sancho, but it's far from done. So, he's basically saying not a lot, is he? How can you say you're in prime position, but then it's far from done? Because it's not done. As I said, if we don't get Champions League football, I don't think we'll get Jadon Sancho, because he's just not that sort of player. Mark and Peppa's Pig, still a better story than Twilight, says Rajat Abari. And Addison's got hold of the corner. And Red Baron, another season out of the Champions League, and United lose a load of money from the Adidas sponsorship. More revenue lost. I think it's very important that Manchester United get Champions League football from a financial point of view. But as I said last night, this obsession with Champions League football is somewhat flawed when you see the situation with Spurs, who really want to get fourth this year, but then they're playing RB Leipzig in the Champions League and they're awful. And then Chelsea, who really want to get fourth this year and get absolutely stuffed by Bayern. It's like, it really is a bit like Arsenal under Wenger, where the obsession is to get fourth to get in the Champions League, and then you just get embarrassed in the knockout stage. So, it is the financial thing. 20 minutes to go, 1-0 to Real Madrid. Man City desperately do need that away goal, but we're going to see Gareth Bale, which excites. I like Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's always a player that gets me on the edge of the seat, and he's going to be coming on. Raheem Sterling's come on for Bernardo Silva as well. Surprised we've not seen Aguero come on. Very surprised we haven't seen Aguero come on. Ijon says, why don't you call the Europa League Emmerdale Cup anymore? Why do you think? There's probably might be a good reason for that. Got to own the L, basically, Ijon. Lucky Brothers says Italy to win the Euros. I do like Italy, but I don't think they'll win the Euros. Dazzy's Gaming says hopefully Bale will score another worldie. I think he's coming on now. So Bale's coming on, and he's coming on for Junior, who got the assist for Isco. I don't think he's had a very good game though, Junior, but he did get the assist. Michael Aspen says he's going to put his money on Bayern. Wales to win the Euros, says Adam FIFA 90. Well, they got to the semi-final last time. You just never know. Shaka Phillips, thoughts on Robert Pattinson as Batman? The trouble with things like Batman and Superman and Spider-Man is they'll never stop doing it, will they? So it always gets reinvented. I mean, for me, I think the trilogy with Christian Bale was as close to perfection as you're going to get. But even in my lifetime, there's been loads of Batmans. So I just like the Gareth Bale. I love the Gareth Bale Batman. He was brilliant. And Harry Bain. I'm Harry Bain. Oh, I'm Harry Bain. No, so we've got Harry Bain and Gareth Bale as Batman. No, I do like Christian Bale as Batman, and I do like that trilogy, but they're always going to reinvent it, aren't they? It's just the way it is. And here is Bale into the box. Shoots. Keeper's got hold of it. I would love Bale to score. I just like Gareth Bale. I don't like his hair, the way he pulls it all together to cover his bald spot, but I think this tie is going to be set up really well if Real Madrid win this 1-0. I think the second leg is going to be really interesting. If Man City get the goal, they'll be favourites. Mark, is Inter Milan stronger than Manchester United, says Ajmal? I don't think they are. I don't think the Italian league is strong. I think the Italian league is a very interesting league to watch, and I've watched it for many years, but I don't think it's strong comparable to the German league, the Spanish league, and the Premier League. I think that you put Inter Milan... Well, we saw it. Dortmund beat them, didn't they, in relation to the group? So I don't think Inter Milan are as good as people think. Look, Ashley Young is superb for Inter Milan. What was he like for United? Hit and miss. What's your opinion of Zidane as a manager, says Vin Barat? I think he's a very good manager, but he will always have that question mark about could he go elsewhere and do it. Do a Carragher impression? I can't really. Sadi Rahman, my opinion on Erling Haaland is that he's fantastic, and I'm very interested to see what he will become. And Zed Jamie talking about James Rodriguez. Yeah, just not. I always. What a cross! What a goal! That goal is absolutely superb. They're trying to get a VAR push, but Gabriel Jesus, what a goal that is. And it's a massive goal for Manchester City. They're trying to say it's VAR, but what a massive goal for Man City this is. It sort of comes out of nothing. De Bruyne runs into the box, does a little turn, puts a lovely cross in, and Ramos getting caught on his heels for Gabriel Jesus. There is a bit of a push on him, to be fair, but I don't know whether VAR will chalk it out. Well, he does get his hands on his back, but I don't think it's going to be enough to pull it out. What a cross by De Bruyne. I don't know what's going on here. I think they're going to give the goal. I think the Real Madrid keeper should do better with the header because it's not a clean connection either. The goal's been given. It's 1-1. No push, says DJ John. There is no push, and it's 1-1. And that's a massive goal in the context of this game because it gives Manchester City that away goal. And Gabriel Jesus again, nearly scoring again. And the game flips. I said this next 25 minutes would be pivotal. And to be fair, a draw is probably the right result in this game, but the draw at the moment gives City advantage. But what a cross by De Bruyne. I mean, that's Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders in the game, taken out by that cross for Gabriel Jesus, who's not known for his heading prowess. Mark, would you want us to become like Arsenal under Wenger just so the club can make more money? No, I want my club to be winning things. I want my club to be progressing, and I think a lot of Arsenal fans got fed up with that, didn't they? We come fourth every year and then we don't spend, etc. But I think United will spend money in the summer. Real Madrid on the attack now. They sort of do need, in the last 10 minutes, to get back in front, to give them something to hold on to. But, I mean, look, second half, Man City, second half is in the Etihad, really, isn't it, in these games? Man City have got the advantage now. I don't know when I'm doing career mode, Ryan Burke. That's the honest answer. I don't know. City have been good for that goal, though. I've got to be fair. They have been good for that goal. They've had more chances in the second half and in the first half. And Telio Turner says if they bought Bale on earlier, they would have won it. And he's given a penalty here. Penalty to Real Madrid. It's totally spun around. Penalty to Real Madrid. Sterling has changed the game. And I don't think there's going to be any issue with this. Real Madrid fans furious. It's a blatant penalty as well. Stands him up, knocks the ball past him, goes in with the tackle. There's no speculation with that. That is a stonewall penalty for Manchester City, and the game has spun around. And De Bruyne, and I think if they score this, massive advantage for Manchester City. So much so, Real Madrid probably aren't going to be coming back. De Bruyne. Not for Real Madrid, for Manchester City. 10 minutes to go in this tie, but more importantly, to put them 2-1 up. And he scores it! And it's 2-1 to Manchester City. They've got 2 away goals in the space of 5 minutes. And from what was looking like a significant loss, they now lead 2-1. And Real Madrid looking in lots and lots and lots of trouble here. 2-1. Pep leading against Zidane. And Manchester City, in absolute fairness, you cannot begrudge them the win or the lead. Yes, it's been quite a close tie, but if it was a boxing match, you would give it to City on points. And at the moment, Real Madrid, they just lack that quality in the final third. We've been talking about it in the first half. Defensively, Real Madrid are good. In the midfield, they're still good. But up front, they just do not have that edge that they used to have. And Zidane will be fully aware of that. And look, they spent £100 million on Hazard. He's hardly played. Modric coming off for Vasquez. They need a goal. Thing is, if it finishes like this, Real Madrid need 2 goals in the Etihad. Mark, I guess I won't count as Man City have been cheating. I think Pep has been the greatest coach ever, says Zayn Miasi. Alfie Mansfield says that Zidane's a fraud without Ronaldo. Alexis Sanchez hasn't got coronavirus. It's just a misinterpreted article. Robert Jones says if you had to pick one, Bruno or De Bruyne. Well, I'm going to go Bruno because I love Bruno Fernandes and he's a United player. But to be honest with you, everyone else should say De Bruyne because De Bruyne is proven, isn't he? I think Bruno can get to that level, but De Bruyne at the moment is just, he's a very good player. Mark, what did you think of the Fury-Wilder fight, says Matthew Kirkham? I thought the right person won. I thought Fury was the better fighter. I think it's a little bit of a shame that Wilder's come out talking about carrying, being tired from his entrance outfit. But he's going to activate the rematch. I think the rematch Gabriel Jesus. I think Ramos will get sent off. Yeah. Why would he not get sent off? It's a goal-scoring opportunity. Yeah, red card for Ramos. Last man. It's gone from bad to worse for Real Madrid, this. So Ramos will miss the next leg. Oh, God. They couldn't have had a worse 10 minutes if they'd planned it. Cross comes in. Jesus scores. Penalty. And now a red card for Ramos. I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's outside the box, but... It all comes about from Casemiro, really. Ramos heads it to Casemiro. It's a bad touch. It's outside the box. It's very clever by Gabriel Jesus. I don't know whether there is actually much of a touch there, if VAR wants to have a look at it, but... Liverpool fans will be happy. They're not going to review that. It's one of those really where some people are saying it's a dive in the box, but what's Ramos supposed to do in that situation? He doesn't purposely take him out. He's trying to catch up with him, and very clever from Jesus. He moves across the path, which is his right, but there's not a lot of contact there. He made a bloody meal of it, but it's just gone very bad for Real Madrid in the last 3 minutes. Morez straight at the keeper. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. We're trying to get up to 125,000 subscribers. We're currently on 124,900. So we're 100 subscribers away. So if you've not subscribed, bottom right hand corner, please do subscribe and get involved that way. Bernardo Silva went off before all this happened, Francesco Fonte, so he's not been a part of it. Aaron O'Neill says that Man City in this position are unbeatable. I think 2-1, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? Very, very difficult. Over 6,000 people watching, which is fantastic. Please subscribe if you are a new viewer. Bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get up to 125,000 subscribers, and we're very close to doing it. The next watch along, I know I'm going to do Chelsea versus Liverpool next Tuesday in the Cup, and probably going to do either Watford Liverpool on Saturday at 5:30 or the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and on Sunday night El Clasico or Inter versus Juventus. Not sure yet. Did you see the next boxing match is DT versus Tyson Fury, Arsenal versus United to Zayn Miasi? He'd get his arse handed on a plate to him in about 5 seconds flat. A hard 10 minutes for Real Madrid in this game. I think they've done everything right. Man City probably slightly the better team, but they get themselves 1-0 in front, and then a beautiful cross from De Bruyne. It's a perfect cross. I don't think Jesus even headed it that well, but it found its way into the back of the net. Then Sterling, who's come on as a sub, stonewall penalty, 2-1, and then a mistake by Real Madrid, allowing Jesus to get away. Ramos tries to get back. Jesus just runs across him as is his right. And that's a red card. And it's just a very good 10 minutes for Pep. A little bit of luck, but some very good play as well. Do you think City will actually get banned? Says King. No, I don't. I don't think City will get banned at all. I think they'll find a way out. I think it would be embarrassing if they did get banned but won the Champions League this year. I mean, that is an interesting situation. If City do get a 2-year ban but then win the Champions League this year, it makes a mockery of the whole bloody thing. And Connor says it's snowing where he lives. Well done, Connor. Lily is a City fan since the 90s. That makes you credible, mate. Makes you incredible considering you didn't get invented till 2008. But no, I'm only messing. Another shot there by Man City. 3 minutes of added time. And Bale's not really had the chance to shine in this game, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But do you think Real Madrid can turn this around in the second game? 11 against 11, you'd give them a chance, but if they get the third here and Morez nearly get... I think Real Madrid just need to get out of this game 2-1, because if it goes 3-1, it's definitely over. It'd be very hard to beat City at the Etihad anyway, but if it's 2-1, they've got a chance. And Real Madrid are on the attack here, which is... I think Real Madrid just need to keep the ball at this point. And they're tired as well, says Martial will shut you up. Oh, I tell you what, there was a chance there. Cross came in and Ferland Mendy, I don't know why or what he does there. And I think Zidane is like, what are you doing? The cross comes in and it's right into his path and he just doesn't get a connection on it. Bounces up in front of him a little bit, but he's... just got to go with your right foot, mate. Or go stronger with your head. Or just go and attack the ball. He's just... For a professional footballer, that should be a lot better. About 20 seconds to go. Changes killed the game, says Ivan Jesse. And Kyle Walker against... Bale here, and Kyle Walker's the quicker player there. But Real Madrid come forward again. Where's Toni Kroos? Is he injured? Just realised Toni Kroos isn't playing. Will he be back for the second leg? Somebody tell me quick. Will Toni Kroos be back for the second leg, or is he injured? Because he's a big player. That is the final whistle, by the way. It's 2-1 to Man City. He's very happy with that. Of course he is. And a comfortable win for Manchester City in the end from a game that was looking like it could go Real Madrid's way. Full time 1-2 or 2-1 as they call it. And come on City, Mank born and bred says hi, bet you're not. And next game for Goldbridge will be next week. And Kroos was on the bench. Well, that's a mistake straight away. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 125k. We'll have the Premier League preview going up on Friday. We might have FIFA coming in before that. And we'll have a watch along for you on Saturday and next Tuesday. But really enjoyed the last couple of nights. Hope you have as well. And I'll speak to you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.